one and go. Action.
Okay. The Royal Pumpkin Patch. Large pumpkins are leaning in various directions in 3 rows. Princess Sydney runs on and hides behind the small wooden fence. She ducks, weaves, rolls, then leaps to her feet. She looks off stage and makes the motion a truck driver might when honking his vehicle's horn. Sydney touches her nose, then draws an invisible circle in the air. The, her rat friends run on and stealthily make their way across the patch in the same exact manner as Sydney.
Ah, sorry. Ah, I'm trying to answer questions here. And okay. Where's Princess Sydney? Am I
Okay, we're here. What now? Missy didn't leave any instructions.
Crack of lightning, smoke billows from the pumpkins. The lights go out, then immediately back on. A glass carriage lined with golden detailed has appeared. It looks almost like a pumpkin. Most, if not all, of the rats have also disappeared. In their place is 2 white houses, a footman, and a driver.
Princess Sydney? Princess Sydney.
Sorry, my sister's being annoying.
That's okay.
Splendid. Don't you all look handsome?
The footman tries to speak but can only squeak.
Oh dear. Looks like Missy left out one tiny detail. Never mind, just don't go mingling with the other subjects. Undoubtedly somebody will rat us out to the queen. Pun entirely intended.
The former rats look distressed, trying to speak but only squeaking.
Don't worry, I'm only going in to get that will. Then I will run out and we can go for a trip around the village before the spell wears off. Deal?
The former rats nod enthusiastically. Oh my god, wait. The former rats nod effusive. Oh my god, I can't read that. Let's just say I did. Sydney moves towards the carriage, admiring it for a moment.
Right, let's get going then, before it gets too.
Princess Sydney gracefully enters the carriage. It rides off, squashing pumpkins in its wake. The remaining rats wave her off. Only one word can describe the step princess's royal ball: lavish. The guests are dressed in their finest, dancing with their respective partners. Edwina and Ermengarde are seated on either side of the queen. Off to the side, a rather depressing-looking orchestra is playing even more depressing music. 2 young men approach the step princesses. This is Titas and Turbers. They bow to the princess, who curtsy in return. Okay. The duke's sons hold out their hands and escort the fiancés to the dance floor. The step queen looks thoroughly snobby with her nose in the air. An older man approaches her.
This is you, Kylie.
Delightful engagement party, Your Majesty, and our children are getting along swimmingly.
By the looks of it, both sons are drowning in the princess's forceful dancing.
Yes, I look forward to our families uniting. A bright future is ahead. Here's to the many grandchildren we hope they bring. I'm talking
The
to
duke
myself.
raises a wine goblet. The queen does not.
I had hoped Dalian's daughter would be here. I don't think I've seen her since her father's funeral. It seems the House of Moroni required her services this month. So I hear. Lovely to see she's living up to her father's name. With all due respect, Duke, You don't have to live with her attitude. Attitude? I've never known young Princess Sydney to be anything less than polite. As the head of this castro in the kingdom of Aristolia, Aristol, I don't know what this.
Aristoltia.
Aristoltia, Aristoltia. I can assure you, Duke, the further away from our upcoming nuptials. What are these words?
Nuptials. Nuptials. That
Nup
means getting married, like
nuptials,
doing your vows.
upcoming nuptials, the better. Nothing but trouble since her father was died, since he unfortunately passed. She has simply but been the same. Simply not been the same.
Bum, bum, bum.
That is sad to hear. Oh well, I'm happy to leave her off the wedding invitations if you feel that is necessary. I assure you, Belmain is it is of the utmost importance.
Offstage, a trumpet sounds.
Bum, bum, bum,
Princess Sydney,
bum. Sorry.
albeit unrecognizable in her ball gown, enters. The step queen and duke look over. So does every other guest. Her ball gown really is that stunning, unlike the rags the step sisters have on.
Step queen.
Oh, sorry. Absolutely distasteful. I think she looks astounding. I wonder who she.
The duke trails off as he walks away from the step queen. Princess Sydney cautiously walks down the ballroom stairs. Prince Victor is crossing the stage looking for Alistair. He spots him on the opposite side of the stairs. As Princess Sydney makes her way to the bottom step, Prince Victor crosses her path. They bump into each other.
My apologies. Oh, good evening.
The prince bows to her. Princess Sydney recognizes him immediately. Prince Victor thinks she looks familiar. He looks at her sideways.
Do I know you?
No, not that I'm aware of. If you'll excuse me.
Sydney tries to get past, but the prince stops her again.
Your eyes. The only other time I've seen such twinkle in a pair of eyes was.
He realizes.
You're the village girl from yesterday.
Oh, that was.
Don't be ashamed. My father is a gardener. Our palace often smells like manure. I'm used to it by now.
Sydney.
Is this how you chat up all the maidens?
The prince laughs as Sydney attempts to get away again.
Please don't go. I want to know your name.
Princess Sydney looks him up and down, then over at her stepmother and stepsisters.
It's a bit noisy in here for conversation, don't you think?
I don't mind the volume. It's the awkward music that's distracting. Care to join me outside in the garden?
Princess Sydney looks at the prince, then up the stairs again.
I really must go. I have.
Just for a minute. I promise.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you 5 minutes, but I'll be watching the clock.
Excellent.
Prince Victor holds out his hand. Princess Sydney doesn't take it. She walks past him and leads the way.